I'm going to go live every Monday just to share with you maybe something that's happened to me during the week that I'm like, that is an excellent thing to talk about, to share about, to bring you a practical tip from my living room, from my life, and leave you with some action steps. And I get so much from Mel Robbins. I love the way that she communicates. And I even just had it yesterday where somebody said to me in the office, they said, "You have such a calming voice." And I get that a lot. A lot of people say and have said for many, many years that, "Dr. Laura, you can be sharing the phone book. You can be reading a recipe and I am captivated, or I'm really enthralled with what you are saying." And I take that with such just such thanks in my heart for people saying such wonderful things about my ability to communicate, my ability, I guess my intonation in my voice, or my just ability to connect with people through the through speaking, through how I speak and the intonation in my voice and the caring behind my voice. So even just yesterday, it was brought to my attention that I really have a knack for this. So and I love the way Mel Robbins communicates in that it's just like a conversation. You think you're in her living room. You're like, "I'm right there with you, Mel." So I wanted to explore just what that is like in communicating with those who take time to watch this segment. It's going to be about 12 to 15 minutes. There's going to be a personal share. There's going to be some sort of, teaching, a little bit of teaching moment. There's going to be action steps, brain building tip of the week, and then my close. So nice and sweet and short. So in this episode, I wanted to talk about, in a timely manner, we watched a fantastic game 7 yesterday of the Blue Jays. If you are from Toronto, if you're from Canada, like, this is huge. We're going to the World Series. But I watch players, I watch baseball players, I watch high-level sports players get into such a routine. They are calm, cool, and collective on that mound when you have not only 50,000 screaming fans at you, but the whole country behind you. I know that these guys, the pressure that they're under, we watched what happened a couple of days ago when the pressure was, too much. And not only do they have to be practiced at their skill, like, they must go out and throw how many balls, how many practice. They have that muscle memory. Now, we might not have to go out to the mound and throw strike after strike after strike and a combination of different balls, but I know that when our brain loves quiet, our brain loves repetition. It calms it down. So you see these guys who are, when they have 50,000 screaming fans and they haven't even started yet, but they're in the dugout and they have their routine. Just like a pre-shot in golf, you stand, you have your pre-shot routine. But in golf is just, your pre-shot routine could be a minute, not even. Imagine what these guys' pre-shot routine is. What is your pre-shot routine? What is my pre-shot routine? I know, and I'm going to share with you what my pre-shot routine is to get into before I work, but also how to start my day. So just imagine these guys. Their pre-shot routine starts probably so early in that morning. They get in the zone, they get in the focus, but I know in their brain, they are rehearsing. They are actually seeing, and they've done studies to look at when people actually in their mind go through an action. Maybe it's weightlifting, maybe it's throwing a curling rock, maybe it's throwing a baseball. They actually get better even if they didn't do the thing itself. In their mind, they recreated that optimal muscle memory, muscle firing pattern. So even you can think yourself, but you need time to do that. So their pre-shot routine, their performance routine must start so early in the morning of that day. And probably all their guys know. He's going through his rituals. It's funny because in baseball, you watch some of those guys and they do a ritual before they swing. They write something in the dirt or they hold the bat a certain way. So, what that is doing is telling their brain to envision what is coming. They envision their arm swing. They envision the release point of that ball, which is different for the different kind of balls, that type of pitches that they hope to execute. Well, what in our life can we can take that, I mean, from a massive stage to in our life, what can we rehearse, think about, picture? So I know in my life what I do is I picture my day before it starts. I don't get out of bed until I picture the things that I have to do. And I say certain things to myself, and I will share with you what those things are, but they are literal things I think about, intentions for the day. I will share those as we go along. Probably there's 8 things I say. They are from Mel Robbins, and I'll probably take one of them each week and explain a little more. But I repeat, I rehearse, I have a ritual in terms of what I drink first thing in the morning, where I put my spoon, where I stretch, where my clothes are. And that calms my brain down. It actually gives your brain more space for other things. It's like if you go to a Catholic school and you have to wear a uniform. That is the one decision that your brain needs. I don't need to make that anymore, which my kids didn't go to Catholic school, but I can understand how that is actually valuable from a brain perspective. So if our brain knows, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go here. Let's take that back to the mound. They know exactly in rehearsing. They're calming their body. They're telling their brain, if this happens, I do this. If this happens, I do this. I'm going to get a sign from in the baseball, I'm going to get a sign from my coaches. He's going to do this. I'm going to do this. It's going to execute. So we call that putting intentions out into the world. And whether it's not always unicorns and rainbows, but the feeling of the intention of what I'm going to be doing is for them. And in the study I told you about, they even saw improvements in muscle mass and muscle tone by just rehearsing it in your mind. So that's powerful. The body learns by just not even, by not physically doing the thing. So just, focus of today is just a brain building tip of the week. Think about where you can set intentions for your day. Maybe it's segment by segment by segment. What can you think about how it's going to go before you have to do the action? So this is putting some conscious effort into, okay, the next segment of my day, not I hope is going to go, I'm going to win $1 million. No, what I feel in the next segment of our day, and breaking down the day into segments. Okay, from 10 to 12, I do this. From 1 to 2, I do this. So at the end, close of one segment of my day, I intend something else to happen in the next, as I enter the new segment. And as we go forward on this, I'm really going to focus on feelings. How is the body feeling? So just to kind of recap, the brain loves quiet, the brain loves rehearsing. And if we can take the skills in watching these phenomenal players who execute their skill, but they've practiced and practiced and practiced probably, 10,000 times, we can't, number one, think that we'll be good at something if we don't put the time in. But what is your pre-shot routine in life? It can be as simple as putting your toothbrush out here. It can be as simple as putting your slippers out here. It can be simple as, at the end of the day, doing a quick cleanup of the kitchen in one direction. It could be just, what is your pre-shot? How do you plan for success in your life? So, brain building tip of the week. So until next time,